I'm Chuck Caskey, CEO of Maryland Realtors. Maryland Realtors is an organization that develops and delivers programs and services that elevate and maintain the high standards of the real estate business and the professional conduct of its practitioners. We also advocate for policies that promote and preserve the right to own, transfer, and use real property. Our members are dedicated to helping people of all ages learn that home ownership is possible.
There are so many benefits to owning a home. Home ownership provides stability and independence. It provides you with shelter while creating a safe and consistent environment. Home ownership can create financial security by helping you build wealth over time. It's also part of the American dream, symbolizing personal achievement and self-reliance. And home ownership creates economic growth because most homeowners are not just buying a home, they're investing in their community. Today, you're going to hear from home buyers very close to your own age and learn their path to home ownership.
I'm Jackie, this is Nix, and we're at my home. Thinking about buying a house for the first time, I was like 4. I was ridiculously young, and it's because my mom is a realtor. And kind of seeing people achieve the dream of homeownership and seeing how that process worked. My boyfriend and I started talking about where would we want to live. We loved living with our roommates. We didn't want to give that up. We were very fortunate that all of our roommates are such good friends that we are hanging out all the time. Finding a space that worked for us, that we could afford, that maybe our roommates would still want to live with us and just be our tenants instead of our roommates. We got that call from our landlords at the time asking if we would want to buy the house is when we were like, oh, it's now. It's go time. And we are so happy that it worked out.
One thing that really benefited me was when I got my first job in high school. At that time, I was making $11 an hour hauling mulch bags in garden. Getting that job helped me appreciate the value of a dollar because I started looking at my money as time. Essentially what a house hack is where you buy a multifamily property. That can be a property that has 2 to 4 units. If you're living in it as your primary residence, you can put down a lower amount for the down payment. With you living in one of the units, what you can do is you take the other units and you rent them out. And the rent that you're collecting from those units, that helps offset your mortgage and makes home ownership more affordable. I was able to buy my home at 22 years old.
So after graduating from high school, I went to college, got the bachelor's, and then lived at an apartment for a little while I found my footing, got into my career, and then we were able to get some money saved up to get my first house.
What I learned since high school that I wish I knew, get that high yield savings account early. It gives you way more back than a standard savings account that a lot of banks kind of start you off with.
Understanding how credit scores work.
Having good credit is important when you're buying a home because the higher your credit score is, the lower rate you're gonna get. As soon as you turn 18, open up that secured credit card and start building your credit.
As soon as I turned 18, my mom was getting me that credit card and being very sure I wasn't gonna blow too much money with it.
What a secured credit card is where you provide the bank with a deposit. That deposit becomes your line of credit. From there, you're able to gradually build your credit by just making your payments on time, always paying it off in full.
Finding the right realtor. Only because I worked with her did I get more exclusive information on homes that were about to go up for sale. I really wouldn't have ended up with the home that I have, that I love, if it wasn't for her.
I wish I could tell my high school self, take a homebuyer education course. The homebuyer education course gives you a good overview, and a lot of them also give you some good preparation materials for what you can do now, even if you're not gonna buy for a few years.
I would go back to my younger self and just tell him homeownership is possible. And I know that home prices and rates are higher than they ever been, but the information that we have is what makes it possible. You just have to take the initiative to find it and to learn as much as you can.
One of the things that I would tell my younger self regarding buying a home is there's not a timeline for it. There may be a goal that you set, but that goal can be very specific to your experience and what you want in your broader life.
I hope their stories inspired you to educate yourself on what it takes to buy a home. Check out the resources at marylandhomeownership.com.
We hope this inspires you to become educated on the amazing benefits of owning a home.
You're never too young to start this journey.